So right here on my Outback shifter, you can see there's a lot of play here, so you can never really tell which gear you're in just by where it's at. You can order a new shifter piece for, I don't know, somewhere between 40 and 100 bucks, depending on where you get it from. They could probably even be more, you know, eBay with shipping and all that fun stuff. So anyway, in order to get this off, you have two roll pins. Of course, I lost my pin punch. Anyway, you gotta push out the center pin first, and then you gotta push out the other, and this will come off. And I'm actually going in and changing the shift shaft seal. I'm not sure if I'm going to continue to use this transmission or not, but it does shift smoothly, and my other transmission here chunks going into first gear, so it could just be the type of motor oil or the type of gear oil I used. But I'm going to go ahead and pull this off so you can see how that comes off. And like I said, it'll just be a short video, kind of to help you, because I was always curious how I'd get this off. So if it's under the car, you're going to have to push up from underneath here to push the pin up, and then it'll come out. Probably going to be a super pain if you're doing it on the car, but since I've already got the transmission off, it's going to be rather simple, I'm pretty sure. Hopefully you get to see this fairly well. Being that I'm right-handed, I'm going to hold the punch with my left hand. Hopefully it doesn't block. So I'm just putting this punch inside there, and as you can see, that's the inner roll pin, wherever it went. So that's it there. Oh, super focused. So that's the inner roll pin for it. And hopefully the other one, I'm not sure, I can't remember what the next color up is, but that's pretty well it. Here, I'm just going to tap it through and hopefully it'll work. It is working. Okay. There we go. I've actually got the proper punch here, this bent one. Pretty sure that'll do it. And that just shot out like a rocket. Oh, there it is. There's a larger one there. And then the shaft, or this linkage here, will just come right off. And like I said, this one's fairly worn. Lighting's not that good here. There you go. You can actually see how worn that is. Okay. This piece connects to your gear shift in the car, and as you can see, it's very sloppy. So I'm going to probably shave the pin off there, push it out, take this to the hardware store, get a bolt that'll go through there, and some rubber grommets and some grease like I seen in Dirt Cheap Daily's video, and see what I can come up with. This is for a 2003 Subaru Outback wagon, so it should work. I don't see why not. So I was going to use the drill press to drill out this pin. I've seen him on Dirt Cheap's video. His is held in by a bolt. I'm going to replace that with a bolt. So I'm just going to hit it with a cut-off wheel and just zip off the one side, and hopefully it'll come right out. If not, we'll drill it out or something fun like that. I'll let you know. Go too far grinding through your material that you need there. And this should just pop out. Or not. I think it more like not. Okay. So I ground this off here. This hole is smaller than this hole. So I'm gonna run the drill press through to tighten up or to straighten up those holes. I just have to get a little something to put underneath this to hold it up. Actually, if I just turn the vice grip sideways, that probably will work. Alright, so I'm going to go to the hardware store, get some stuff. When I know what stuff I'm going to modify this with, I will hopefully put it in the comments or something, or at least take photos of the product numbers, and we'll get back to you when I'm putting this all together. Alright, for my sloppy shifter repair, what I'm going to be using, so I've gone and taken this apart, like I said. I've drilled out the holes the exact same size. Probably shouldn't have done that now that I realized I'm going to go with a smaller nut and bolt. Not necessarily going to make a big difference, I don't think. So I've got some zinc coated washers. I've got some 17 by 17/32 flat washers. They fit inside there. That's probably going to have to be cleaned up like super shiny. I'm going to grease these, stuff them all inside there, and then put this assembly all together. This all costs about $5 Canadian. So, I mean, for you American folks that might be watching, this could be a lot cheaper. These here are just little 1/4 inch brass washers. I couldn't find any ceramic or any like organic, but I don't think these are going to rust or corrode in the Canadian winter. We'll find out, really. I mean, for $5 to fix this shifter linkage as opposed to 50 or more, depending on where you get it from, I'm willing to run the risk. So let's start to put this together and see what we come up with. Yeah, so I've got more washers than I need there. I think I got 7 or 8, and that's just to make the gap in between. Because if you notice, it's pretty loose technically. So let's just see what we got here. I have no method to this madness. I'm just going on pure madness here, and that's all corroded in there. So I'm just stuffing bushings in there, or technically they're just bib washers. And maybe I should have assembled this a little bit at the hardware store, but I was getting frustrated looking for these things. A zinc one, and then a brass one or two. Just that way it keeps things nice and freely moving through there. Also, before I go and assemble this, I'm going to clean out that, because this one gave me a pain trying to get it off the shifter inside the car. So like I said, I've got my zinc washer and my 2 brass washers. Then I put a washer on the outside. So this is going to be a struggle, and I'm going to do most of it off camera, but you kind of get the gist of it. Make it your own way, like when you do it, if you do it yourself. Maybe I might omit the zinc washer and just go with 2 brass ones. So I did this off camera, but it was very simple. Actually, I just put the one washer on the end of the nut, pushed it through this yoke piece here, put my 2 brass washers on, and then the zinc one, and then I just threaded the threads of this 1/4 inch bolt into the first washer, rubber washer that's in there, and it's all greased up already anyway. And then I used the drill quite like this to get it to thread itself. There we go. To get it to thread itself through all of them. So it's all the way through. It's out the other side. Now it just has to be tightened, and I used a nylon lock nut for it as well. So like already, it's got a little play, but I think that's just because I'm stupid and drilled out the hole too big. But I think it's still going to work pretty good, actually. So hopefully you like that, and you find it useful for yourself. Like I said, I've got 1/4 inch flat zinc washer. I guess 2 of them is what I used. Then I used 4 of these bib washers there. They came with a package of 6. I could have probably squeezed a 5th one in there. And then 1/4 inch brass washers, 2 beside each other for each side, so that way it can move without binding, preferably for years to come. And then don't over tighten this. You want it to be able to shift nicely. And like I said, if this doesn't work for me, I'll just redo it and put my other shift linkage on. But I thought I wanted to give this a shot. So thanks for watching. Hit the like and subscribe button, and tap the little notification bell.